and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Imani Simone. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. So today we will be talking all things TikTok. I know it's a lot of buzz going around about the ban right now, and there's a lot to get into. But first, I want to start off with, why is TikTok different? So obviously we have multiple social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as we're watching right now. But TikTok is so different in like their For You pages, because there's discovery on each set of social media pages. But TikTok's is set up a little differently, and that's what sets them off from the rest of everybody else. So obviously with Facebook, it's more of like, if you know the person, you connect. Like, I don't really accept friend requests from people I don't know because it's a little bit weird. I'm sharing my personal life on here. So it's mostly just your friends and family, even though they do have the suggestions on there, like where you can find other people who are connected to people that you know, or you can join Facebook group communities. And then you have Instagram, where their newsfeed is very much centered to like your searches. So I go on Instagram to find like fashion stuff and everything. So my little search bar For You page section, straight fashion, just trying to get me to spend money. But I don't sit there and scroll for hours on there like I do with TikTok. YouTube, obviously you have your homepage, but it's so much harder to get pushed out on YouTube. You have to worry about, is your title like SEO friendly? How's your thumbnail? If your thumbnail isn't good, nobody's going to click on your video, obviously. It might be a really good video. It could go viral if people took the time to click on it, but because your thumbnail is not good, nobody's going to click on it. But TikTok's For You page, you scroll for hours, especially when it started off at just 1-minute videos. You could be scrolling for hours and hours, and you have a higher chance of seeing other people's videos. Because think about it, if you only had 20 videos on your For You page, you're going to scroll through those 20 videos and get off the app. I use the search bar, but I use the search bar after seeing something on my For You page that I want to research more and see other people's videos about. So people had a higher chance of being seen on TikTok compared to YouTube. Like I said, you have to worry about your titles and your thumbnails. With TikTok, your video starts playing immediately on the For You page. So people get to see your video. You have a higher chance of hooking them in to watch your full video. Compared to YouTube, you might not even get the chance for them to come into the video if you haven't mastered that SEO in the thumbnails. So TikTok has created a lot of, I won't say influencers, because influencers and content creators are two different things. So they have been able to create a lot of content creators, And that can become a problem when we're looking at like advertisements and stuff. Like, I know advertisements have gone more towards influencers. They already have the following base. We're more likely to buy from an influencer than a celebrity because we think in our minds that they actually use the products, but most likely they don't use all those products. I see these girls with shelves and shelves of skincare. My skin is itching just looking at all of that. Like, you cannot be using all of that skincare realistically. So if you think about it from an advertising perspective, there's actually too many content creators that they're not going to make them all influencers, which is why you also see a lot of people saying now, like, oh, I have 100,000 followers, but I'm not making any money. I don't think the advertisers can afford to pay for all these content creators. But the platform still gives them a chance to sell like their own products or collaborate with other people in a platform that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Now, I do think TikTok has a lot of pros and cons. Like I said, one of the pros, you can easily create a platform there, gain a following, and branch out from there. If you are smart with your business, you will branch out and not just depend on brand deals. But there's also a lot of downsides to it, like the need to go viral. So it's not as authentic to me. So I prefer YouTube because it's more authentic. People are showing more of like their day-to-day lives and just having fun, compared to TikTok. They're worried about, can they make a viral sound? Like, even if they tell a story time, you can tell they're trying to say it in a funny way where it's going to go viral and it's going to become a trending sound. Like, just tell the story time. I think that's why Risa Tisa was like so popular, because it was like OG YouTube. She was just sitting down telling the story. She wasn't worried about, is this funny? Is this going to be a viral sound? Is this going to go viral? She was just putting out her story. If it helps one person, it helps one person, and just getting it off her chest. And that's how it should be. And so that's also something I don't like that about TikTok. Also, with the introduction of TikTok Shop, December, I was really staying off TikTok in December. Every single video on my For You page was TikTok Shop. And they were only showing me the same like 4 products. I don't know how many times I could see those same products and you not understand I do not want to buy them. Not to say I haven't bought anything from TikTok Shop, because I've bought 2 skincare products from TikTok Shop. My skin did not like them, but that's just my skin. My skin is sensitive, so I'm not going to put down the shops on there. And I have made a recent order from TikTok Shop, so I like it, but I don't like how they're trying to like throw it down our throats. Like, I don't know what their end game is with TikTok. And with them like trying to switch to the horizontal videos and making them longer form, I think everybody should stay in their lane. I go to TikTok for a certain reason. I go to YouTube for a certain reason. Everybody stay in your lane, and let's just keep it like that. Some more good things about TikTok though, you can form a really good community because you can respond to your followers in a different way that you can on Instagram or YouTube. So you can do a video response, which continues the conversation, because now they're going to the next video and you've continued your point and they're continuing to respond. So it builds a higher relationship with your community. And I mean, I guess you could say like Twitter, you can also, tweet your favorite celebrity. But I feel like Twitter is more divisive. I don't know, people come on there aggressive. I don't like Twitter. I don't get on Twitter. I've never seen the appeal, like all the arguing back and forth. I don't like that. You can argue on TikTok too. Trust me, there's some trolls on TikTok, but it's just not to the same degree. It's not like Twitter. It's a very supporting community. Unless you're doing something controversial, they're for the most part very supporting, especially if they are your followers. So I really want to explore all the arguments that are out there right now about why are they pushing this ban so hard. So one of the arguments I heard was because a lot of people are becoming content creators and making money on this app. I truly don't think people are making money like people think they are. Like I've heard personally from a lot of influencers that a lot of the people they meet, they look like they're rich online. And when you meet them in person, they're broke because they don't know how to market themselves as a business. Like, they don't really have a passion for it. They just want the fame and the clout, but they're not truly trying to work for it, okay? Like me, I went to film school. So regardless, I was going to be making videos, working in the entertainment industry. This was my passion. So I'm going to make videos regardless if I make money or if I don't make money. These people, they don't really care. You have a lot of them who will become famous, and then they'll just sell you product. Like, they have no passion to actually make helpful content or content that has value to it. And if you respond to their content, they're not going to respond back to you because they think they have reached celebrity status. But there needs to be a distinction between influencers, content creators, and celebrities, because it is not all the same thing. And that is where a lot of people go wrong. But I can see why the government would want to limit this, because compared to YouTube and Instagram, TikTok is throwing out a lot more viral, high following people who do have the potential to profit and quit their jobs. We already have an issue with people wanting to go to work. So if all these people are now just turning to online and not working, who is going to work in our job forces right now? So I can see the government trying to, stop that. And also, they don't want everybody to be rich. If we're being honest, they do not want everybody to be rich. They want to keep you down just a little. So they feel like they need to come in and limit all this. But that's also one of my arguments for the algorithm. I hear all the little social media managers talk about, the algorithm rewards people who are consistent. It's not as simple as that. You have to look at the algorithm like a job interview. So you want to work with these brands. These brands do not have time to sit out here and look through every single account. So the algorithm is doing it for them. They are seeing how passionate, how good your videos are doing, and are you consistent? This is going to prove who's passionate about this and who is not. Because if you are not passionate about this, if the algorithm is not pushing you out and you aren't going viral, you're going to give up because you were only in it to go viral. But if you are consistent through all the months of only getting a few followers and you're consistent to your small following base and you just enjoy and have fun doing the videos, that's when you get the brand deals. And that's when the algorithm rewards you because they see you are actually worth the time. You're going to put the time in for the brands and you are passionate about this. So that is how the algorithm is basically weeding out all the people who need to be influencers, who don't need to be influencers. Think of the algorithm like a job interview, and it's going to change the way you make your content. I see a lot of people are confused as to why this is one of the one and only times everybody could agree on this bill. And you have to think about it like this. It's not a Democrat versus Republican situation. There have been a lot of bills that have gone to the House or whatever, and they voted on, and it just didn't go through because it was a Democrat versus Republican situation. They were just going back and forth arguing for their own team. This had nothing to do with Democrats. This had nothing to do with Republicans. This was a completely third party situation. So they could all agree on this. And this also has to do with our safety. So they don't want to get rid of TikTok. I don't think anybody understands that. They don't want to get rid of TikTok, but they don't want China to have control of it and have our data. And if you think China is not a problem, China's a problem. I have talked to some military people. I can't say anything on here, but just know you need to be paying attention to China. Stop worrying about North Korea. Nobody's worried about North Korea. That's just a little boy playing with his little toys, okay? We're not worried about North Korea. You need to be worried about China, because China could really do us over. They control most of our trading and stuff. If China really wanted to mess with us, they can. And that's why they're going after them. But I can understand because there's the business owners. TikTok Shop has opened up a lot of doors for the TikTok Shop owners, small businesses. But my thing is, if you are a small business on there, are you creating a community that will follow you regardless of this app? Or are you only depending on this app? Then you need to be expanding your marketing. Do not just depend and put all your eggs into one basket. Especially when this argument about banning has came up before, you should not limit it, okay? And there's other ways to market your small business. So a lot of the clothing brands that I buy from, I find from Instagram. I will be going through people's stories and the ads for the clothes will come up. And that's how I find a lot of small businesses. You can advertise with Facebook. You can advertise on YouTube. You might just have to be a little bit more creative than doing a live or something, but you can still find ways to market. And if you know the ban is coming up, it's time to go ahead and start moving your audience off that platform and make sure you have a good situation going. But like I said, they don't want to ban it. They just want to get it away from China, But we'll just put a pin in that, and we're going to come back to that in a second. So then you also have everybody talking about the conspiracy of the government doesn't want us to build communities. I just don't think that's true, because we can build communities and make waves without TikTok. I think people forget we lived before TikTok. Like, we were surviving. We went through the women's movement. We went through civil rights, all before TikTok was around. You have rights. You can build communities. You can have town halls, whatever you need. Those are your rights. You just have to exercise your rights and go out there and build those communities. You can also build communities on Facebook, Twitter. You can build a community, but I feel like people just go on there more to be divisive and argue. But if you want to build community, there are other ways. So just because TikTok might be going away, do not think we're just going to be out here not surviving all of a sudden. I know that that's also, I feel like TikTok is being a little petty right now, and they're trying to like make it seem like we're just going to die without TikTok. You will not die. I promise you, you will not. You will live and you will be perfect, okay? You're going to be just fine. I do feel like the reactions to the TikTok ban are a little dramatic, though, just from my personal opinion. You can feel however you want to feel about it. For me, I just feel like some of y'all are doing a little bit too much. Like, some of y'all are calling your congressman over an app. Have you called them about anything else? I know y'all keep saying, oh, we're uniting on this app and they don't want us to unite. Have you called them about anything else you've seen on the app? Y'all might be discussing things on this app, but are you doing anything about what you're seeing on the app? But you can call the congressman about an app? It's just a little weird to me. And then I saw another girl saying she would move out of the States just to continue TikTok. Are you okay? Like, I don't think you understand. We have a lot of rights here that other people don't have. So don't think the grass is greener on the other side. And this is coming from a person who lived abroad for almost 3 years. It is not always greener on the other side. Those people don't have the rights that we have. They might have better health care and this and that. Like, there are pros and cons to every situation. So do not move out of the States with this expectation that it's just going to be better over there, because you're going to be highly disappointed. Also, if you move out of the States just to do TikTok, it's already banned in other countries, for one. For two, I'm pretty sure most of your demographic is United States citizens. So if you move out and we're now banned from seeing your content, who's going to watch your content? You can make it if you want to, but who's going to watch it? Because whatever country you go to, they're going to be watching their native citizens' content. Are you even going to be able to speak the same language as them? So your audience is going to go down drastically. The American companies that you might have brand deals with, they're not going to bother giving you money. Okay? They're not. So let's please not be outrageous out here. Let's calm down just a tad bit. Okay, so now let's talk about, are they going to sell? Because remember, the States does not want to ban it. They just want it out of the Chinese people's hands, Chinese government's hands. I personally don't think they're going to sell. But let me explain why they're not going to sell it. For one, if you go back to like the UMG group, music groups, contracts and issues there, I read an article where they talked about it. They wanted to keep the music on the app, but TikTok was not budging. And then TikTok started being like bullies to them. That's the words they used, not me. That's from the article. I'll put the article excerpt right there somewhere. And they took a lot of their smaller artists, like developing artists, off the app first and only kept the big artists. So that's why they eventually just took off all the music. And I can see them being that petty now, because for like the past 2 weeks, I've been seeing people talk about low views, low engagement, all this stuff. And I can see it on my page too. I went from getting like 100,000 or more, even 1 million views on my posts on TikTok. And now I'm happy to get 1,000, maybe 10,000 on a good video that I know normally trends well. So I think they're already being petty to the content creators on the app to make them fight a little bit harder. Like, this is what's going to happen if we go away. Your views are going to drop. You might lose some brand deals. So I think they're trying to put like the fear in us to go against our government. Because why are they fighting so hard? Like, why can't you just sell us the app? That's my question. Why can't you sell us the app? But if by chance they did decide to sell, who do you think will get the app? Obviously, we know they're going to sell it for quite a bit. Because how much did Elon buy Twitter for? I think it was like $1 billion, was it not? I'll put the actual number up there. But I'm sure TikTok is going to do some outrageous prices just to make the government work hard for it. But my thing is, I think it's going to be a showdown. If they do sell it, it's going to be a showdown. It's going to be a showdown between Google and Meta. I already know Meta owns majority of the social medias besides YouTube and Twitter. I don't think Elon cares about TikTok. And after seeing how he changed Twitter and people don't really like the app anymore and Instagram went on and made threads, I don't think anybody wants him to have TikTok. So, but Meta owns majority of the social medias, so obviously they're gonna want TikTok. Like, they've already tried to make like Instagram and stuff like TikTok, so they're gonna have their foot in the race. And then Google. We already know TikTok was becoming one of the highest used search engines, so Google's gonna want to take advantage of that and go ahead and take it, because YouTube is also considered a search engine, so why not just own all the search engines? And they obviously have the money for it. Meta, Google, they can bid back and forth until they go red in the face, honestly. So it's going to be a showdown between those two. But what if it doesn't happen? Are one of them going to create the new TikTok? Or are we all just going to move to the different social medias again? And if that does happen, can the content creators and influencers from TikTok make it on other platforms? Obviously, Instagram is more of just like photos and stuff. But how many people do you actually need to follow on Instagram for just outfit inspirations and stuff? Or just to see them eating a donut? I don't need to see you eat a donut or drink your coffee every day. I go on there to look for fashion inspiration or follow my friends and family and see what they're up to from high school years ago. So I don't think Instagram will be overflooded like that. If it was, I don't think they're going to go quite far, especially if they haven't already got in there. I don't think it's going to go that far. So I don't think they're going to flood Instagram. If they try to do YouTube, like I said, a lot of these people are not passionate about content creation. They follow the trends. They're not really making useful content. Like, I see a lot of people. I saw a girl, or I think it's a girl, somebody, I saw a person. They had like 1 million followers. All they do is just write names. I'm trying to figure, all they do is write names. See, I don't have good handwriting. I can't do that. I also would not be looking up any YouTube videos about that. I do not need to see 10 minutes of you writing people's names. I'm so sorry. I don't need to see it. So, and we also know from a prime example, Charli D'Amelio. She has 100 million followers or more now on the app. She couldn't even transition over to YouTube. She made that first video and it went horrible. So I think a lot of them will try to come over to like YouTube, and it's just not gonna go well unless they only do YouTube Shorts. But YouTube Shorts is only 1 minute. And you can scroll through YouTube Shorts, but most of the time when people come to YouTube, yes, I scroll through YouTube Shorts sometimes, but you come on here for long form content. Like, I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. So I come on here to see vlogs or see other helpful information and just longer form content and actually get to know a person. I don't know any of the people on TikTok. I truly don't. Like, I mean, I don't know any of them in person, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of the people on TikTok compared to the people on YouTube. It's more of an intimate connection because they share more of their actual life and you see them more and you know more about them. This 10-second dance you've done, I know nothing about you. I don't know your likes or interests. I don't know if I should follow you. if we would connect. So I don't see it really working out on YouTube for a lot of them, because I don't think you can have a viable shelf life on just YouTube Shorts. And I don't see a lot of them being able to create that long form content that everybody likes. Like, they couldn't even do it for the TikTok app. So if they couldn't do it for the TikTok app, they can't do it for YouTube. Also, I don't need to hear your every single thought, okay? Like, I love a good story time, but unless you're going to be authentic and just tell the story, I truly don't want to sit there and see you be over the top dramatic trying to tell the story. Just tell me the story. Don't worry about if it's going to trend or whatever. Just tell me the story. If it's a good story, it's going to trend, okay? I also don't need to know every single thought you had. You just encountered somebody at the drive-thru. I don't care. I don't care. That's a TikTok thing. That's a TikTok thing. I don't care on YouTube. I don't care who you ran into at the checkout line. I don't care who annoyed you today. I don't need to know your every thought. So they're going to have to do a complete 180 in their content if they want to survive. But let me know, what are your thoughts? How do you think this is going to go? Do you think it's going to get banned? Because we know Biden already said he will sign it, but it has to go through one more round of voting. So do you think it's going to get banned? If it does get banned, do you think they're going to sell? What are your thoughts? You know, I think they're not going to sell, but what do you think if they sell? And if you think they're not going to sell, do you think Meta or Google are going to try to come in and make the new TikTok? Or everybody's just going to integrate? Do you think people can integrate? Or do you think they're going to sell? And who do you think will win, Meta or Google? I might actually do a poll after I post this video and see Meta or Google, who's going to win the race. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.